going to discuss about like polymorphism and abstraction. So, so there are principles, right? Java object-oriented programming language, and which follows these four principles: encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism and abstraction. So, which we had a discussion in the last session. Encapsulation. What is encapsulation, and what is the inheritance? With some examples, we had it. So now today, so we are going to explain about a polymorphism. What is a polymorphism? How to use in polymorphism in Java, and what are the abstractions? How we are going to implement as abstraction in Java. Okay. So these two topics are the two principles we call as it. Okay. These two object-oriented principles are very important to in applying our Java programming skills. So why we use object-oriented programming language, programming principles? To make your code modularization, readability, okay, because inheritance, right? So we cannot duplicate our code. And encapsulation, so we can restrict our data to outside of the people. Similarly, the polymorphism purpose, what is the usage and purpose how we are going to use, what is the abstraction, and what are the abstraction supporting in Java, so we are going to learn. Okay, yeah. So coming to the polymorphism, okay, polymorphism in Java. So we have a many form. Okay, so many form in the sense the object can behave as a many types, many forms. Okay, it is a object-oriented programming, and we have a two type of polymorphism in Java. Okay, so one is a compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So you want to achieve the polymorphism in Java. Okay, you have to follow these two kind of principles like compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So let's see that what is a compile time polymorphism, what is a runtime polymorphism. And compile time polymorphism sometimes we call it a static polymorphism. Okay, so but how do we achieve this one? By we can achieve by using method overloading. Okay, so you want to implement compile time polymorphism or a static polymorphism, you have to follow the methods to be overloading. Overloading concept. Methods are overloading. Okay, so there is a second type of polymorphism, runtime polymorphism, and which can called as a dynamic polymorphism. So how do we achieve this? By achieving that, a method should be overriding. Okay, method should be overriding. So till now we are able to know that how to declare a method. Okay, till now we are very good at method declaration. Till now we are good at method declaration and method return type, everything, right? So then that is the case, I bring that the revision. Okay, here. So what is a method overloading? What is method overriding? If you know that, then you are able to achieve that. You are able to write a polymorphism concept in your programming or in your framework. So these four concepts are very, very much important because the people will ask in the framework. Suppose if you are automation engineer, the question will raise, where did you implement the object-oriented concept in your framework? Okay, in encapsulation, private, I'm declaring a private variable and providing the scope to the class level. Nobody can access outside the world. That is the answer. Inheritance. So which we are implemented inheritance concept as a object-oriented programming. So we are making the common properties to superclass, make them a superclass, common methods and make them into a superclass. And remaining classes are which are extended. So by the way, so those reusability of variable and reusability of methods has been implemented to make our code is not duplicate. So that is the way we achieve it. Similarly, so in our my framework, so we have a done kind of method overloading where it is a functionality is required, method overloading, and method overriding also implemented, and you need to explain the scenario. That's all. So these are the three principles which are covered in the you are designing a framework, which mostly we will use this. We will define it. Definitely will define it. Without framework, right? In the framework designing, without OOPS concept, there is no framework. Okay? Yes. So now we see that what is a method overloading, how we can overload the methods. Okay, what is the overriding and how we are going to override the methods. Okay, so let's see that. Yeah. So now you can see method overloading. Okay, method overloading. So this is a method declaration. Let me see the method declaration here. Okay, the first method declaration is public void and add is a method. Okay, public is a access modifier and void is a method return type. Add is a method name and it has a int a is the first parameter, int b is the second parameter, and brackets open and close, and within that there is a statement or definition of the method, implementation of the method. Okay, so this is a one method. Okay, and you see that there is a one more method here. Okay, so there is a one more method. So method is a public, void is a return type, and the method name is same, and int a is the first parameter, int b is the second parameter, and int c is the third parameter. So now you see that what is the difference. So if you see the difference, then you come to know the difference is there is a one parameter is extra. Okay, there is a one parameter is extra. Remaining is same. Okay, and the implementation level also. Don't bother about the implementation. The first thing is the parameter is different because void public method, it is also public method, it also has a void, and method names are same. Okay, method names are same, and arguments are number of arguments are different. Okay, so now you can see that the definition of method overloading, then you can easily understand a multiple method in the same class. Please remember that. So this method overloading within the class only. Okay, people will confuse that. Okay, the statement is very, very important. Same class. Okay, so you have a multiple methods within the same class. How they should be declared? The declaration should be method name, same method names. So add is there. Okay, and different parameters, different parameters. What are the different parameters? Here we have there are two parameters. Here we have a three parameters. Okay, third parameter is a different. So then we say that these two methods are overloaded methods. Okay, these two methods are overloaded methods. Clear? Now you can able to see that. So let me recap the same definition. Okay, so please remember that method names are same. Okay, and parameters, different parameters, and all these two methods should be in the same class. All these two methods in the same class because method overloading with happened in the same class and method names are must be same and different parameters, right? So different parameters and we have some kind of three number, type, order. Okay, so not only these two way to write, we can write different way. Suppose let me write another way. Okay, then you come to know the definition. Okay, so public, void, and add method, and so here is a float. Okay, or double we can say double d, and int a. So this is also same. Okay, this is also this method also overloaded method. How do I say? So this time there are two number of parameters. Okay, so first method also two number, here also two arguments, here also two arguments, but type is different. Second type is okay, it is b, sorry, it is b. Okay, the second okay, second int b, the first one is the type is different. Even though there are two parameter, type is different, number is different. Okay, number is same, but type is different, and sometimes order also is matter. Okay, so let me declare one more order way you can identify. So let me public void is the method, add, and int b, and double 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 a. Okay, or double b, whatever. Okay, so double a. So even though, see, this time is order is different. First, okay, int b is first parameter, double a is the second parameter. So now order is different. So which means even though this method also overloaded. Okay, overloaded can be happen any ways. There are many ways, and that follows here. Okay, so method name multiple methods in the same class. Method name must be same, and the parameters must be different number 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, or 1. Type, whether it is a int AB or a float AB. Order, okay, order also matters. So this way you can declare any method and it's in the class, and those methods are overloaded. But why we use this? Why we use this? So usage is a different implementation. Okay, what is a different implementation? So let me show you that what is mean the implementation in detail. So there is a class. Okay, sorry, there is a method. Okay, so let me write a method, simple method here. Public void add method. Okay, add int a and int b. Okay, so without curly braces, and there is a no open curly and ending with the curly. So which means the method is not declared anything. Just to declare, there is a no implementation. Implementation in the sense it is a business logic or writing something. Okay, writing something to execute the task. Okay, adding a two number. So we are adding a two number here. Add method which can take two parameters and add the two parameters values and provide the output as a addition of two number. So this particular method is performing addition of two number, which takes the two parameters and add the two parameter values. And the second method, also method name is same, but here it is this method accepts three parameters. The output or logic or implementation is different because the above method is a method name is same, but which will calculate only two number. But the second method name is same, and it accepting a three parameters and adding also three parameters. So which means method name is same, different type, and logic is different. The implementation is different. But this method is no implementation because there is a no flower bracket starting and ending. There is a no logic. There is a no body of this method. Okay, there is a no body of method. So we can declare such kind of method later on, but I am introducing in this case. Right? Yes. Okay. So don't forget about method overloading. Method overloading in the same class, which can have methods names are same and different type of parameter, which can order is same, type is different. Okay. Yes. So that is the one. Okay. Next is there are kind of rules. Okay. Yes.
So what is the return type?
A return type can be anything. Return time, don't bother about that. Is the reason I did not mention.
Can we use same for both? Suppose if I'm using white for one method, can I use something?
Yes, yes. Method only the method name must be matched. Arguments is different. Return type can be anything. Maybe I covered here. Let's see that. Yeah, no return type. I think. Okay. Overloading methods is about different parameter list, not return types. So I mentioned here. I'm going to explain. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's coming to the key points which can recap. Okay. So now compile time polymorphism. Okay, the method overloading is solution or resolution at compile time. So what does mean this one is, okay, so when I call this method, right, add method, add of 10 comma 20, then a two parameter, we are passing a two parameter and immediately compiler check that, okay, in this class two parameter method is declared or not. Okay, it is declared. Then it decided compile time only. Okay, compile time only. Okay, it is going to execute two type of argument method only. Suppose if you declare a method calling 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, then automatically the compiler decide Okay, I should call that third argument method, not a two argument method, because the user is passed the three arguments. Then I should identify the this particular method execution only. Compile time only decided. Okay, compile time only decided. So that is what. Okay, and next one is the return types. Return types are not dependent. Okay, so which means you can declare any type. Okay, return type doesn't matter. Okay, only that parameters and name must be same. Parameters must be number can be, type can be, and order. Type order must be different. Okay, yeah. So there are three examples. So let me cover the example now. Overloading with a different number of parameters. Overloading a different type of parameters. Overloading sequence of parameters. Okay, different sequence. Let me create one example for this. So let me go to the code, Java program. We can write one program, simple program. Poly method overloading. Method overloading. So public void add, okay, into a comma into b. So this is the one method, and which can accept print statement. Okay, adding numbers. A plus b. Okay, so this is the one kind of method, and so I can also write only one parameter. Okay, just print a, print value a. Okay, and also you can also without parameters. Okay, so now the example is, so in the PPT the example is different number of parameters. Okay, method overloading with different number of parameters. So here all are in same type. Okay, let me check that. Let me check that. The first one is no parameter. The method is add method. Okay, and second method is one parameter int a, and second method is having two parameters. So the parameters are different. Okay, number of parameters are different. Type all same. Here also int, here also int. Okay, yes. So the doubt is like we can add a int. We can add a string. So if it is there, it will throw the error, but it is not throwing the error in sense, we can add it. Okay, so we have to pass the return type. Okay, whenever you have a except void, if it method is anything other than the void, we have to provide a return statement. Okay, otherwise compiler will throw the error. Okay, here is a null default value, right? So now we about clear, right? The return type can be anything. Return type can be anything. Okay, yes. So this is the first example. Second example. What is the second one? Method overloading with different type of parameters. Different type int a, float b, like that. Okay, int a, float b, like that. So let me declare public void. Okay, and add is a method, and we can add int a. Okay, and float f and double d string. Okay, so let me create all the combination. Now, if all of them same, then it will be error, right? So now let me remove that only two types. Here it is a three types, and here is a four types. Okay. D here is str. Yeah. Okay. So now, what is that? The third one? Where is the third one? Yeah. Second one, method overloading with a different type of type. Types are different. Okay. Type is first type is integer. Second type is float. Integer, float, and double. Integer, float, double. The okay. So the way which we declare different types. In this type, int type, float type, int type, float type, double type, int type, float type, double type, string type, which covered all the types here. Okay, you can also declare class type also. Okay, here car, mention that car. So don't forget about nom primitive. Nom primitive also we can pass it in the method level. In the method overloading also, method overloading also. Okay, so that is the way. And order. So order is kind of same this method. Okay, so now we can see that. So it is a int, right? I will change to float f. Okay, float f, and int a. That's it. Okay, so these two methods are overloaded. What is the difference is? Different is the order of the parameters. Type. Okay, the first one is it is int a. Okay, first of parameter, first method parameter is first one is int a. Okay, here is a float. Okay, different order. Okay, and a float here int different order. But there are three parameters. This method also having the three parameters. The order of the parameters are different. Okay, here is the number of parameters as sequence is different, but here is order is different. Okay, yes. So these many ways we can declare our method overloading and which can apply within the class only. Okay, within the class only. Within the class only. Yes. Okay, so let me, yeah, I think we are good. And I told you, right? So whenever you call this method, let me call this method as well. So let me give some print statement to all the methods. So just I will remove this one, adding number, add a method. Quickly add it, the statements. Yes. Now you can add a main method here and you can create an object. So what is the method name? What is the class name? Class name is poly method overloading. Poly method overloading equal to PM or small variable. Okay, new. So poly method overloading. Now you can add. So these you see you're able to select add of int a, add of int a, int b, add of int a, float f, add of int a, float f, double d, add of int f, int a, double d. So which means all type of methods which will be displayed. Okay, suppose I want to call this method. These two methods are identical, same number of parameters are same, but order is different. Okay, the type is different. So int a, int b, int a, float f. So now this method will decide compile time. Suppose int 10 comma 10. Okay, 10 comma 10, which means which method will decide? Only two integer method. So this method will be executed. Suppose if I pass here 10 comma 00 11. Suppose what is that? 1 b. Okay, a floating, right? Yeah. Sorry, it is a floating point. Yeah. So now you can see floating point number. This method will be executed. So you see that if I make a wrong, automatically compiler is telling you, so this method is not defined. Suppose, so this method is not defined. Suppose double, if I make a double zero, okay. So then this method is not defined. You see that it compile time throwing the error. Was this kind of method is not there? Double method is not there. Your parameter is a float. Provide the float, then only I will execute that. Compile time only decide that based on your data type, parameter data type, which will decide to execute this method. So that is the reason we call as a compile time polymorphism for method overloading. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let me run this one. Okay. So this is the way we can achieve. Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. Yes. Next one is method over anything extra override. Yeah. Method overriding. Yeah. So method overriding. So basically, so coming to definition point of view. So here you can see the good example is the animal class, right? So there is a class is declared animal, okay, and animal class is declared, and within the animal class, so there is a one display method name is display info, and also there is a one more class is created dog and extended animal, and so the method name is same display info, and so there is a test method or main method. So you can create a dog class object, and you can display the dog information, something like. So what does mean is method overriding not only one class, it should be followed a inheritance concept. So where we can overload, so we can overload the method. There are two classes, and those two classes which need to follow a inheritance concept. What is meant in inheritance? So there is a parent class and child class. So parent class method is already there, and that method implementation is not sufficient to the child class. So there is a method is there. Okay, this method is already there, but this definition is not sufficient. Okay, for child implementation. Child want a new implementation. So which means he can override that existing implementation. So that is called already the existing logic is there in the parent class, but that logic is not achieve his goal. Okay, child class does not match his goal. So he want to recreate or redefine that implementation, recreate or redefine or relogic the same method, but method name is same, but he can use same method, but he want to use both methods, something like. Okay, so that is the case. So let me see the definition point of view. So method overriding must be achieved by using the inheritance, which means parent class must be there, child class must be there, and extend keyword must be there. Inheritance concept. So already there is a method is there, display method, and same method we are overriding. So animal class has a definition. I am an animal some, but it is a like dog class specific to dog. It decide to dog like something like. Okay, so that is a variant. That is a variant here. Okay, a subclass provide a specific implementation of the method that is already defined in the superclass. Okay, subclass in the sense child class. Okay, parent class, super class. So super class, there is a one method is there, but that is not sufficient to subclass. So he want to implement or re-implement the things. So that is the case. So we can do the override. And the override the rule, the next rule is subclass must to have same name, same return type, and parameters also same. Okay, how it is declared in the super class? Okay, public, void, display, no parameter. Similarly, overriding time of the child class also. Public, void, display, no parameter. Same to same, mostly same. Okay. So here coming to return type, there is one correction. Okay. So name is same, return type also same, but there is a one additional point. Okay. So that I will come to later after the example. But you can think that same return type. Okay, same return type. Okay, method in the subclass must be same name, same return type. Void is there. Void is there. Yes. Int. Okay, int must be there. Int float. Float is the return type of the parent class. Child class also float must be right. Similarly. Okay, parameters also same. Suppose there is no parameter in the parent class, then in child class while implementing method overriding, there is no child class have a method have a no parameter. If has the int parameter, it must be int parameter here as well. So that is the case. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And decide decision. Okay, how it will be executed, right? So when you create a object, okay, once you create an object, a dog object is created, dog class object is created. How it is created? Dog d1 equal to new dog object is created, and d1 of display, which means the class of display method will be executed. It will decide to execute runtime only. Okay, but compile time when you give the parameter 10 comma 20, okay, both are int parameter, int method is defined. Okay, compile time, check that. Okay, it is defined, then I will take it. If not, I will throw the error immediately because compile time decision, the method is existing and I want to go to execute that particular method only. But here there is a same implementation, but same method is there in the super and sub. The implementation is different, but based on the object, based on the which object created in the runtime, the decision of execution will be taken. Okay, suppose animal object is created. Okay, animal object is created here, and p dot animal and p dot display info parent display method will be executed. So that is the case. So that is the case. Runtime. Okay, decision of the method call is made in the runtime. Okay, actual object type. So that is the call we call as a runtime polymorphism by achieving method overriding. Method overriding, which will be two classes: parent class, child class. Parent class already the method is there. That is not sufficient to the child class. Child class want to recreate or re-implement the definition of the method. That time that the child class must be follow that same method name, same return type, same number of parameters should be there, and the only that logic, the implementation, okay, inner implementation method body should be different. Okay, method body should be different. So that is what it is, right? And inheritance overriding at least one parent, one child relationship, and annotation. So it is optional. You can kept or not, no problem. Okay. Runtime polymorphism enable only dynamic. Okay, dispatch only, and access modifier. So this is important. Okay. In the interviewer, people will ask this one. So access modifier, overriding method cannot cannot have more restricted access modifier. Okay, that is the parent. So what are those? Final should not be there. Static should not be there in the method level. So final method cannot be overridden. Static method cannot be override. Cannot be override. Final method cannot be override. Okay, cannot be overridden or override. So while declaring your method, if it has a final here, here. So final method, if you declare a final method, it cannot be override here. And it is a static method, it cannot be override here. So that is what this meaning of this. Okay, you can write the example for that. Let me write a same example here. Okay, let me create a class for this. Okay, poly underscore method overriding. Now we can create an animal class also, no problem. Okay, just I will create here. So what is that? I want to public void display method. Okay, display is a method. So south super class method definition. Okay, super class method definition. Right. So now we can create a one more subclass. Okay. So this is a method. So let me create a one more class poly underscore sub method override. So here, so I want to extend, right? As I told you, right? So parent to child, we have extend keyword. So we should follow that polymorphism by using extend keyword, and you can follow that method overriding. Method overriding. Okay. So whenever your method override, right? So what we can do? So we can write the method public display method. Okay. So this keyword automatically comes, and so here you need to give that your own definition. Okay. So that is subclass implementation. Subclass implementation. So earlier it is what is the definition? So superclass definition, right? Here you can see overriding, overriding. Let me clear all this. Yeah. So this is a parent class and poly method override, and it has a one method display method. And what is the logic? Um, Super class. Super, not on just I'm writing a statement, you can provide some logic. Okay, there is some implementation is there. Assume that. But this implementation is not sufficient for child level. Child want to do some kind of enhancement. So his own implementation he written. Okay. Then these two classes are over these two methods are override. Okay, now we can test this method. Okay, so I want to call a subclass method. So by create a subclass object, okay, and subclass object, and so poly dot subclass object reference dot display. So which means, so what is the object here? Which class object is one? So same class object, poly sub method override means this one. So this reference of display method means this particular method will be called. So let me run this one. Yes, subclass implementation. So now we can also call a parent class method also. So we need to create a parent class object. What is a parent class object? Poly method override. Okay, small poly method override equal to new poly method override, and we can call poly method override. Okay, the parent class of display method. Now we can see this particular implementation, parent implementation will come. What is the parent implementation? So there is some other logic. Okay, so let's see that prints. We come to know. So super class method definition means it is a super class display method will executed based on the object runtime deciding which method should be executed. Okay, now we can see that. So there are forms, poly, object creation is a kind of many things. Okay, so overriding concept is by using the method overriding. Okay, we are creating a multiple objects. Okay, so that is the case. And yeah, so there is a one more critical and critical and interview point of view, and also we will regularly use this one. Okay, so what is this one is, so the syntax is, don't forget the syntax. So now, till now, what we had, how to create an object. Please remember, this is a very, very key point. Never tell others. Okay, so what is the statement? The first statement. It is a class creation, object creation, right? Class object creation. So class name, okay, class name and object reference, OBJ, object reference, RF equal to new constructor of the class. Constructor of the class, right? So now we had, okay, yeah. So now this is the current implementation till now we have done. So there is a new implementation. So here I can provide a parent class. Please remember, parent class reference. Okay, P object. Parent class object is pointing to, okay, parent class object reference, not a object actually. It is the reference is pointing to child class object. Child class object. Please, this is a very, very important. Please listen. The same definition format you have to remember. Parent class object reference and is assigned to child class object. So what does it mean? So generally, what we can do, int a, okay, it is a declaration in the primitive type. Okay, int is a data type, a is a variable, and nothing is assigned. Next is int a equal to, okay, int is a, and we can assign the value, actual value, right? We can assign the actual value. Let me close this one. Okay, so what is the value we can assign? You can data type of int, right? So you can assign 1000. Okay, so but there is no object concept. But suppose there is a student and s equal to new student. So this time the same student object created and student object reference. Suppose I can divide this word in two format. So first I can create a reference student s equal to. Then I can assign equal to new student. Okay, I divided this single line statement to multi-line. But what is the assignment here? The same class object. Okay, till now we are good at same class reference and same class reference is assigned. But now what we have done right now? Parent class reference is pointing to child class object. Okay, parent class object reference is pointing to child class object. Okay, so this way also we can declare the object. The purpose will come to know in the next session. In that framework level, I'll tell you, but you have to remember. Okay, so because if I tell you, you will confuse. So let me write this one. So what is a parent class? Parent class poly method override equal to parent method or parent class object. I'll write. The class names are very long. I was taken, so maybe it will confuse you. Don't confuse it. Okay. So child class object. So here is a P capital actually poly method. Now you can see that. So please carefully observe this statement. This statement which create because this statement which required in our Selenium. That is the reason I'm telling you. Okay, Selenium object creation space to use. Okay, yes. So now you see parent class reference. What is a parent class? Poly method override. And the object is new poly subclass method. So now let me run this p display method. Which method will call? Let's see that. So parent object class reference. This is reference and display. Can anyone guess that which class method will execute? Which class method of display method will execute? Okay, so let me run this. Yes, child only. Yes, child class object is child class display method is executed. So even though your object reference is parent, but your object is child, so child class display method is executed. So that is the case. Subclass implementation. The last statement is subclass implementation. So why like this we will assign. So we'll come to know later, but you have to remember this format as well. Okay. Yes. So interviewer will ask you that. So writing this third statement, what is the outcome? Most of the people will say that, oh, it is a parent reference, so parent class object is created. You are wrong. Even though reference is there, your actual object is a pair, subclass object, subclass method will be executed. Okay. So here the direct. So subclass object reference, and subclass object is created and assigned, then automatically subclass method will execute. But it is a parent class reference and parent class object is assigned and the parent class method is executed. So this is a runtime decision. Even though you created a object, okay, object is a subclass object, but you pointed a parent class reference, that time it will decide the runtime. Who is the object? Okay, object is a subclass, then subclass method will be executed. Okay, so run dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism by using this state. Okay, yes. So you need to practice. So no, don't bother about that. I will give some example for you. You have to practice. Okay, let me check that if anything points we need to cover. So yeah, so basic method overriding we have done, and second is overriding with access modifier. Overriding with access modifier. Let me check that one. So method overloading. So now here. So here is a int. Okay, int. Then automatically child is a int. Throwing the error. Okay, missing return type. Go to parent and you can change to int. Okay, so which means same type, same int, same return type must be there. Okay, same return type must be there. Let me revert it. Okay, and this covariant return. Okay, return type with covariant. So what is the covariant? What is meant by covariant? Anyone? Yeah. So let me tell you that. So I need a one kind of explanation here. So there is a okay. So I told you there is a string. String is a class in Java, right? String is a class in Java. Okay, and also there is a root class in Java is object. This is also one of the interview question. What is the root of Java class? Object class. Okay, whatever we write, right? The root class is always object. So now these two classes are defined by the Java and they have some kind of relationship. Inheritance is a relationship. Okay, is a relationship. Okay, so which means automatically the string class is extended object class. String class is extend object class. And also I will show you that in our example. Our every class, okay, in our Java, our every class, whatever we class is created, our every class is extended a object class. Let me show you that. So this is our reference class, right? Reference dot. You see, clone. Clone is a method of object. Okay, this is the object class. Clone method. Who write the clone method? I never write. Automatically comes because every class, custom class or predefined class, the root class is object. Okay, automatically extended without any extend keyboard. Okay, equal is coming from object class. Hash code object class method. Get class object class method. ToString object class method. Notify all. So which means all these methods are defined by object class. Okay, so now why I'm explaining object classes here is, so whenever you have a covariant, okay, so what is my covariant? So any relationship between the object is a class and string is a class, and they are following some kind of easy relationship. Okay, so these two classes are covariant. Covariant. So which means in method overriding, we can provide parent class as a object return type, child class as a string return type. That way it will be accepted. Okay, because they already follow the parent-child relationship. You can, while implementation also, your method, your display method, return type can be object or in the superclass. In the superclass. In the subclass also, we can directly object you can create object because same return type. Child of object is string. You can provide a string class in the parent also. That is covariant data return type. Okay, so that is the way. Let me clear and write. So now let me go to the parent class method here. So here is the object return type object. Okay, and now go to the child. Here we can say child class. Directly we can write an object. Okay, so return type I will give a null as of now. Null, and here also null. Okay, so now you see in my super class, my object. Okay, I told you right, object is a return type. Yes. Okay, same type. Okay, my display method is also object. Now there is a one covariant in the sense object child class. So within the child class, you can create a child class of the particular string, right? String is this. Okay, so in the parent class, parent of return type, in the child class, same class, the return type of parent of child, something like. Okay, here I'm not talking about the overriding of methods, overriding classes. Here is a return type. Return type should be also a super to child only. Okay, so that is called covariant. Covariant return type can be accepted. Okay, yeah, that's what. And restriction is final method cannot be overridden. Okay, starting method, same thing. Private methods cannot be overridden. So suppose if you create a parent here, automatically the scope will change. Okay, now you can come here. You can see the error. Method does not override from it is superclass. It is marked as a private. Something like that. Okay, yes. Yes. Okay. So now we can see the benefits. So benefits in the sense writing a code can be worked as a different types. Okay, reusability. Okay, code reusability, extensibility. Okay, you can extend a new enhancement in the subclasses. Even though you have some definition, you don't want the definition, you can create subclass, can create a own definition. So that is the way. Okay. Yes.